Facebook.com/wakeupcalldt and Facebook.com/live-now-DT. So thank you so much for tuning into the show, as well as on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt and on wakeupcalldt.com. This is our fantasy grading show. We did one for the Floridian League at Hooters last week, and now it's time to have our Central New York Leagues get their fantasy draft grades for every single owner that drafted over the weekend with me at the Wildcat Sports Pub. Johnny putting out, I personally would like to thank the Wildcat for a luxurious war room, and I second that. We have the best war room by far here in Central and Upstate New York. It's massive, the food is great, the people are great, the ownership's great, and we get to be on a big screen TV doing it the entire time. So a big thank you to everybody that drafted, and let's bring in Mr. Sofka. Mike, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Dan?
Doing well. Enjoying life, enjoying the fact that it's football season, enjoying the fact that there's going to, the weather's cooled down a little bit, and with the weather cooling down a little bit, it's perfect timing for Syracuse's first game of the season, which I cannot wait to see this weekend at Ohio. So, with that being said, fantasy grades coming up here, and we're going to go to our three leagues. We have three different leagues that drafted here in Central and Upstate New York. We have the Gridiron Gurus League, we have the Captains on Call, and we have the Dream Chasers. I'm going to go to Captains on Call first, and my team name for that I'm very proud of. It's the Trash Pandas. And my logo is Rocket Raccoon because that is what he's called, a trash panda. And so we'll get to do that. We'll be giving grades on each team. Mike will give a grade on my team. I will not be giving a grade on my team as Mike and I do not grade our own teams, but we will grade each other's and everybody else around the country that asks us here. So the Captains on Call will start with Team Carpenter, which is Phil's team. That starts out with Bills. So that's your Bills team quarterback, Austin Eckler, Keenan Hunt, Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin, Julio Jones, Robert Woods, Chase Edmonds, Adam Thielen, Dallas Goedert, Michael Thomas, Steelers D, Robert Tonyan, Niners D, Bengals quarterback, Zach Ertz, Nyheim Hines, Giovanni Bernard, and kicker Greg Zuerlein. And that is in the order that he drafted rounds 1 through 18. Mike, your thoughts on Phil's team inside of the Captains on Call League for Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in Central New York?
You just go out and take Josh Allen, right away with your first pick. There is what it looks like here in the system. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Josh Allen's gonna have a great year. I'm just unsure of drafting him first. In the first round. So. Is that 4-point passing touchdowns or 6-point in that league?
Yeah. So in this one, as we're looking at right here, the number on the left side that I'm looking at here on my screen is where they were picked overall, and the number on the right is the round. So Josh Allen was drafted 3rd overall in the first round by Phil, and quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends, and wide receivers all receive the same amount for touchdowns. They all get 6 in my league.
Yeah, and I'm not going to knock it because, I just wouldn't have done that same thing. He did recover nicely, picking up Austin Eckler on the way back. I think Austin Eckler is definitely, going to do a little better than his draft position, if you would. So I like Keenan Allen there. I like Terry McLaurin. I think he got some value in Julio Jones where he got him at 43 in the 5th round. Robert Woods, I don't know why everybody's down on Robert Woods this year. The same thing with Chase Edmonds. I think it's a tremendous opportunity for both of those guys to take a step up. Adam Thielen, I think that's good value there as well. Dallas Goedert, I like him as a tight end. And I like the Michael Thomas pick because you have an IR in your league, right?
We do. And what I was able to do, we do our leagues through ESPN, is that I was able to get the max. So there is 4 injured reserve spots that I'm allowing every team in every one of the leagues this year. The teams down in Florida in the league that Mike and I are in, that's in their 11th year at Hooters, as well as all the teams here at the Wildcat in Central and Upstate New York. Every single team has 10 starters, 8 bench, and 4 injured reserve spots. so that we have the maximum amount of space due to COVID and other things that can happen.
Yeah, well, I think the Michael Thomas pick there in the 10th round could come back to really boost this team in time for the playoffs. I mean, just think about it. There's a guy that normally is one of the top receivers here, if not the first one taken. And, due to injury, due to the surgery and everything, those things are going to miss the first 7, possibly 8 games. So that's a tremendous opportunity to give you a boost to get you into the playoffs, or to, miss a year out of what might be nothing. But looking at this team, I think it's a pretty good team. I don't like the defense in the 11th round. You probably knew I was going to say that. I think it's way too early. I know it's Pittsburgh, and I don't know if Phil's a Pittsburgh fan or not, but I do have Pittsburgh ranked as the top defense pretty much draft to draft. Robert Tonyan, I think there's value there. And again, with a second defense, I'll let out a dirty secret here. I hardly ever even worry about the defense I draft. It's a pride thing to draft that defense late and finish in the top 5, or have my defense in the top 5 on my ranking sheet. That's always great when you're in a 12-team league and you saved your defensive pick for second to last. But more times than not, my secret is I'm streaming a defense. I'm not even worried. I take a look at what's out there. I take a look at the matchups. And if there's 12 teams in your league, there's probably, 12 to 15 defenses, maybe 10 to 15 on the waiver wire at all times, plus the defense you have on your team that you already like. So, maybe there's a better matchup, or maybe some guys are hurt on the defense you have right there. So I like to stream defenses, and I've been successful with that. The Bengals team quarterback, I like coming back and backing up the Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. That's a great spot for him. I have him ranked as like the first backup quarterback, because I still need to see more off that knee. Zach Ertz, I don't know what kind of years he's going to have. There was talks of him not even being in Philly. Naeem Hines, that's a great pass-catching guy, because the league's PPR, if I'm not mistaken. The same thing with Giovanni Bernard. If he turns out to be anything in Tampa, catching a ball, that's going to be tremendous. Because remember, Tom Brady always used to give James White 6 or 7 or 8 pass catches in a game. Can you imagine that with Giovanni Bernard? That would really boost him up, and it would really help this team out a lot. Overall, I'm going to give this team a B+. I would have given it a solid A, but the defense staying too early and then taking 2 of them way early is just too much for me to overcome to an A.
Yeah, and I do want to make a note here, and it's my mistake here, but do want to make a note that the number drafted overall for some reason did not come through correct. So we'll go by rounds. So rounds 1 through 18, that is correct, but where that was drafted was not. So Josh Allen was not 3rd overall, and so that's for some odd reason when they were inputted, they came in this way, and I think I know what happened. So I want to make a note of that, so we can talk about where people are drafted by round, but to stay away from the number, because for some reason the numbers are off. Phil, for me, you gave him a B+. I'm going to, and I want to make a note here for those of you that are listening in and those of you that will listen back. So this is the Captains on Call League of Central New York. And the Captains on Call League, we started with Phil, and we're giving draft grades for each one of you. And so, Mike, for Phil's team, we'll put Phil C here. Mike gave a B+. And for me to look at Phil's team and, break this down, Phil's been drafting with me, I think, all 10 years pretty much. I like the Bills quarterback pick. Austin Eckler, yes, we're a PPR standard hybrid. And so a lot of ways to score in my league. I stay away. I know Keenan Allen's talented, but I never seem to draft him. I think I drafted him one time, and I think that was the year that he got hurt, and he was hampered by this, that, and whatever. And then I think I dropped him, and he got healthy. So it was just like bad taste in my mouth. But Julio Jones in Tennessee, this could be good for him in a resurgence of his career potentially. And, obviously he's got to stay healthy. Robert Woods falling to the 6th round is a good thing for, Phil's team as well. Chase Edmonds is going to fight it out with James Conner to try and find who's going to be the dominant back in Arizona. Adam Thielen in the 8th round. I don't know why people are so low on him. I really don't get it. Yes, drafting a defense in the 11th round and drafting two defenses overall. I'm not for either one of those moves or the Zach Ertz move. I like Joe Burrow late because Joe Burrow was great for me last year before he got hurt, and the amount of, he got me like 50 points in a game. This guy, and at the end of games, he was doing big time things. Giovanni Bernard, if he's going to be used as that PPR, receiving running back, then there's some positives there if they're going to let Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette ground and pound. So I'm going to agree with you. I think B plus is fair. I think it's, it could be an A, but I'm going to give Phil a B plus as well because that's where my gut's going on this. Next team up is Team Cologne, and that's Nicholas's team. So Nicholas's team, Aaron Jones in the first round, and then we had Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray. You get team quarterbacks in my league, so it'll say Cardinals quarterback, but we know that's Kyler. A.J. Brown, T.J. Hawkinson, Amari Cooper, Mike Davis, Brandon Ayuk, Darrell Henderson Jr., Kenny Galladay, Rob Gronkowski, Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill, Tony Pollard, the backup to Zeke in Dallas, as well as James Conner here from Arizona, who I just mentioned with a Chase Edmonds thing. Cardinals defense in the 14th round. Rondale Moore from Arizona as well. 3 Arizona in a row. James Conner, Cardinals defense, and Rondale Moore. Austin Hooper is a backup tight end late in the draft. And then kicker Rodrigo Blankenship from Indianapolis and J.D. McKissick, Washington running back. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I definitely like Aaron Jones. I'm an Aaron Jones fan. I definitely like, the Cardinals quarterback there, Kyler Murray. A.J. Brown, tremendous wide receiver. T.J. Hawkinson, to me, that might have been a bit early to take wide receivers. I can't see the whole draft board here, but in the 4th round, that might have been a round or two early for T.J. Hawkinson. But, I like him. I like Amari Cooper. I like Mike Davis. I don't know why people aren't higher on Mike Davis either. I think Brandon Ayuk is due for a breakout year here. Darrell Henderson, it'd be interesting to see how that injury to Cam Akers affects him, how soon it will impact him. The team really Xavier Jones as well there in L.A. Kenny Galladay, I like him, but I'm a little bit down on him this year as well. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do as well as he elsewhere at Detroit as he will with the Giants and Daniel Jones. Rob Gronkowski, I don't know. Again, that's a reach pick. I don't even know if you need a backup tight end, really. Titans quarterback, I like Tannehill there. I like Tony Pollard. I think he's going to get the occasional touches, plus Zeke is injury prone. James Conner, I like that pick there. The Cardinals D, again, not drafting a D. I think it's too early. I just do. I think it's too early in the 14th round. I like one more pick. I think Arizona's going to do something. I would guess, just by looking at this lineup here, that what's the name of this team again?
This is Team Cologne.
Yeah, I think Team Cologne, do they like Arizona? Do they like the Cardinals? Is that their team?
No. No, it's not.
I just looked, and with the team quarterback and with the defense, and I just thought maybe there was a connection there. I'm gonna give them a B. I can't go any higher than a B when you draft a defense in the 14th round. I just can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna looking at this team. Nick's been with me also for 10 years, and I like some picks here, but there's some questionable stuff. I think there's a lot of rolling the dice. Outside of like a Kyler Murray and Aaron Jones, and maybe an A.J. Brown, I just feel like you're rolling the dice a little bit with Mike Davis, with Brandon Ayuk, with Darrell Henderson, with Kenny Galladay, with Tony Pollard, with James Conner, with Austin Hooper. So I'm gonna give this a B minus. So Mike's going to give Nick a B, and I'm going to give him a B minus here in our Captains on Call League. Next one up that we have here, Mr. Sofka, inside of our fantasy football grading show for all the Central New York leagues, drafting at the Wildcat Sports Pub, 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York. You're home to watch every game all throughout the season. Open 7 days a week, and of course available for takeout and delivery by calling 315-487-2222. The next one is called Win It for Nate, and this is Zach W's team, and he named it after Nate, who I had mentioned and did a tribute to at the beginning of this week. Unfortunately passed away, so Zach naming his team Win It for Nate and doing everything that he can to honor Nate this season, as we all are. So he drafted in the first round Derrick Henry, and he drafted right after me. So he was actually the real, I think, third pick or fourth pick. And so, yeah, because I was, yeah. So, yeah, he was right after me. And so he went with Derrick Henry, who I consider going with, but then you'll see who I went with in a second. He did Derrick Henry, DK Metcalf. This is rounds 1 through 18 in order. Najee Harris, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, Cooper Kupp, DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore, Leonard Fournette, Tyler Higbee. He took Fournette from me when Fournette was still a Jaguar a couple years ago. Tyler Higbee, DJ Chark Jr., Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, Latavius Murray, Evan Engram, Henry Ruggs III, Darnell Mooney. My favorite name of a kicker in the NFL, Young Ho Koo, as well as Patriots defense and Chuba Hubbard he took in his final round. So your thoughts on this?
Yeah, if you ever have to Google the Atlanta kicker, Young Ho Koo, just be careful with that. When the responses you'll get there. Make sure your filters are on.
I do want to let you know that I gave you credit, and I told that joke at the draft. I said never look up Young Ho Koo simply by his first name. So, Mike, you were very present in our draft with your thoughts on that name, and it trended very well. I just want you to know.
I like this team up and down. How can you not like Derrick Henry? How can you not like DK Metcalf? Everyone's high on Najee Harris. That and they're going to give him the ball a bunch. So that bodes well. Then you come right back with the quarterback. Lamar Jackson, Cooper Kupp. I like. There's some people down on him. I think the reason why I down on him is not going with a groin injury. And, I don't think that's going to impact him, but they do have Jamal Williams are going to be the pass-catching guy, so he could take over the lion's share, which could be bad news if Swift is hindered starting season. But we'll just have to wait and see. I like DJ Moore. I like Fournette, but do we have to look for the playoffs to see, perform? I don't know where the tight ends. But I know Darren Wall went earlier and Pitt winner. It might be a good find there. DJ Shark is going to be impeded by LaVisca Chenault. I think they're going to make opportunities for Jalen Camp to get well. So I would be a bit worried about that, but I have confidence in DJ Shark. I think he's a great receiver. I like Tua. Not sure if I'm taking Tua there. You could have probably done a couple rounds earlier if that's who you wanted. I'm surprised he made the roster. I would continue to monitor that because they realize Tony Jones is the backup there behind Alvin Kamara. And I like Ingram. Hopefully he can stay injury-free. I think Henry Ruggs is going to have a bounce-back year here. A non-COVID year is going to do him great. He's fast. Can they get him the ball? And Darnell Mooney, I think he's due for a breakout year. The kicker, 2 rounds premature. Then he came right back with the defense. Way you met for that with Chuba Hubbard is your last pick, the backup to CMC, and I bet you he can be just as effective as if CMC suffers an injury or a setback like in the past. Overall, I'd like to give this team a solid A, maybe even an A plus. I can't get past the kicker thing. It's just me. I don't know if it's unfair that I'm grading teams this way, but we talk about it constantly. And I'm not saying people have to follow my doctrine here, but at the same time, you can't take a kicker 2 rounds early. You can't do that. You get an A plus. So I'm going to give a solid B.
You're going to give a solid B or a solid A?
No, a solid B.
Okay. So Mike giving a B on this one. And yeah, I mean, I have the same thought process in the same format as Mike, where I've said for years you don't draft a kicker or a defense until the last 2 rounds, and so when you do, I'm the same way. It's very hard for me to say, oh, okay, that was a great move, because I just don't see it. I don't like it. But getting Chuba Hubbard at the end, I think he made up for it. I think Chuba, with what he's able to do and being behind Christian McCaffrey. Again, Christian McCaffrey, how healthy is he? Can he stay healthy? I think just for the reality of McCaffrey coming back, I think Hubbard's going to get touches because they're not going to want to run McCaffrey into the ground. They utilize him for a lot of different things in the passing and rushing attack. I think that to have him the whole season and wanting him to be healthy, wanting him to be well, wanting him to have longevity, I think just by sheer reality, because of that, Chuba's going to get opportunities, whether it's goal line, whether it's third down, whether it's just to spell CMC for a minute. So I like the pick. I made the pick. in one of my other leagues. So I think it's good. I look up and down this team, and I give Zach an A. I've known Zach long enough to know that he knows what he's doing. He knows how to do it. He makes good moves. He strikes, and I think that there's a lot of things about his team that I like. There's a lot of danger zones. There's the Najee Harris, Lamar Jackson, DK Metcalf, Derrick Henry, where a lot of different points can be scored. And then there's other guys that I think are going to pick up some slack, and I think there's guys that will help him out in his weeks where he has bye weeks for some of those top guys. So I think he's going to be okay. I give Zach an A. 50 Shades of Trey is the other team that we have up here. And 50 Shades of Trey was a name that was changed here. This is Greg's team, and Greg drafted Delvin Cook in the first round. Then he got Zeke Elliott in the second, Darren Waller, Allen Robinson the second, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert, David Montgomery, Chicago running back, Deontay Johnson, Pitt wide receiver, Myles Gaskin, Jamal Williams, who's now in Detroit, Trey Sermon, the rookie running back for San Fran, Corey Davis, now with the Jets, Devontae Smith, rookie and Heisman reigning winner, going to Philadelphia, wide receiver Devontae Smith from Alabama. Michael Pittman Jr., Curtis Samuel now with Washington, Niners quarterback, who we would imagine is going to be Trey Lance, and Matt Gay, a kicker in the 16th round, Hunter Henry, and then Broncos defense at the end in 18th round. Thoughts on this one?
I like this team. I think this could be the best team I've seen yet. You look up and down here, Dalvin Cook and then Zeke Elliott. It's hard to get that combination, but people have been. I think better his carries with. I like Darren Waller. I'm not sure if the third round's the spot, but hey, you got an excellent pass catcher there in a PPR league. Allen Robinson should have another great year. All he did was have, every other quarterback in the world that was thrown away everywhere else last year and still had a productive year. I do like Justin Herbert, the Chargers QB. I think he's due for a setback, a little sophomore slump, but I think he'll muscle through. I just don't know if we can expect. I think NFL defenses are going to catch up to him. They couldn't. They really didn't know how to play this cat. Robinson, again, I said he's had a great year. David Montgomery, I think he's going to have an okay year. Deontay Johnson, I like, but they're going to spread the ball around so much in Pittsburgh there. I got all those receivers ranked about the same, and Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool, et cetera. Myles Gaskin, this is going to be a hit or miss thing. It's going to be a home run or it's going to look real bad in Miami. But, there, I think there's value at that point. To draft Jamal Williams, pass catching. Guy, we talked about that earlier. Trey Sermon, I like this rookie pick here. I like Trey Sermon a lot. I know they have a whole stable running backs in San Fran, but Trey Sermon's made his mark. The announcer usually says something about the Trey package when Trey Lance and Trey Sermon are on the field at the same time, which I can't help but giggle because, as you know, my son's name is Trey as well, and it's not a name you hear all the time. Corey Davis, I like Corey Davis a lot this year. I like Devonta Smith, but again, he's been hobbled by injury in the training camp here. Michael Pittman, I like this a lot because the T.Y. Hilton situation is looking worse and worse as days go by. Now they're saying he may miss a bunch of games. Curtis Samuel, is he going to be the number one guy? Can he? He doesn't have to be. They got McLaurin in there, so I think he's going to be just fine. Everybody's like, oh, he's not going to do as well. Fitzpatrick pushes the ball down the field. That's what they do. I do like the 49ers quarterback at this point. And then, again, just a couple rounds too early on the kicker. You went with defense last, but then you sandwiched, Hunter Henry there in between. And I like the value there in a Hunter Henry pick. I'm not sure if you need a backup tight end, but looking at this team up and down, I really like this team. I would give this team an A+, if not for the kicker thing. So I'm going to have to give it an A-.
Yeah, I looking at this, am going to go, and I thought about giving an A as an A+ as well. I'm going to give them an A in this one for Greg's team. I mean, there's a lot of talent throughout here. Cook and Elliott together, Waller, Allen Robinson. I like this. I think, taking a chance on Justin Herbert as your starting quarterback, I'm kind of a little bit leery on. But then you go get Trey Lance. It's another guy. So you're giving, two shots to West Coast teams here at quarterback. And it's kind of, with Herbert, this is his second season. With Trey Lance, it's his first. And he only played one season in college football. So I think, you're taking a little bit of a. I mean, really, at quarterback, you're rolling a die. You're rolling the dice on that one. Michael Pittman should be stepping up. Curtis Samuel, hopefully get better. I mean, Curtis Samuel and Corey Davis, both in new places. So he took a lot of guys that are either rookies or in new places, but he has a top-heavy team. So I got to give him an A here. He took some chances. He drafted some guys that, like he said, are not DT guys like Jamal Williams. And it's not that I don't respect Jamal. I want the best for Jamal. In fantasy, I just stay away. So, I like 50 Shades of Trey, and we'll see what happens here. I'm good with it. I like the team name. I'm going to give him an A. Binghamton Kittle, Myron's team. Christian McCaffrey, he drafted first overall. So Christian McCaffrey, DeAndre Hopkins, he got on the back end. Jonathan Taylor, Chris Godwin, Miles Sanders, Kyle Pitts, Jerry Jeudy, Raheem Mostert, Robbie Anderson, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Hurts, and the Eagles quarterbacks. Melvin Gordon III, Noah Fant, Philip Lindsay. And that's 3 Denvers in a row, but Philip Lindsay's now in Houston. Bears quarterback, Justin Fields, we would imagine at some point. Tyler Bass, the Buffalo kicker, Washington defense, and Gabriel Davis. Your thoughts?
What's the name of this team again?
Binghamton Kittle, because Myron is from Binghamton, New York.
Gotcha. Hey, I'm looking at this team and just up and down. Initially, I want to say, man, this is better than the last team that we just did, 50 Shades of Trey. And you can't argue with Christian McCaffrey, first calf out of the chute. I like DeAndre Hopkins a lot. I don't know why people are as down on him as they are. And I don't mean you're down on him. I just mean he's not top 5. He's top 10, basically, across the board most times. Jonathan Taylor, I think he's going to get a lot of work. I like Chris Godwin. I've always been a fan. I've been a fan of Miles Sanders as well. He just has to stay healthy. And I do like the value in Kyle Pitts in the 6th round. I think that's perfect. Everywhere I've seen him going in the 5th round, and if you could wait it out to the 6th, because it's almost like that musical Chairs. You know the music is stopping. You just don't know when. One of you guys is going to get the prize. And it turns out that, this team here, Binghamton Kittle, won that prize, and Kyle Pitts. I like Jerry Jeudy. Raheem Mostert, he's just fast. I've been watching extra tape of him and, the rest of the 49ers last night, and I'm looking at that, and I didn't realize how fast he is. He moves a lot quicker than a lot of guys on the field. Robbie Anderson, I think he's going to have another great year, the Temple guy. Brandon Cooks, I think he's going to have a better year than people think. I'm not sure. I was hit or miss on him through most drafts. And, I'm really starting to come around to the fact that Tyrod Taylor's not going to be a bad quarterback. And you never know. They may start Deshaun Watson. So maybe there is something here. Maybe everybody's just scared off by the whole Deshaun Watson thing. So that could be a tremendous value pick there. I do like Jalen Hurts a lot as well. I like the Eagles situation at quarterback. Everybody's acting like, maybe Cam's going to go to Philadelphia. Cam's not going to Philadelphia. And Jalen Hurts is their guy, and he's going to be the quarterback on the field. Gardner Minshew's not going to get on the field anytime soon, and Joe Flacco's not going to take his job. So put it to rest. Go get a cheesesteak. Melvin Gordon, I like that a lot. I like Noah Fant. Philip Lindsay, this is going to be a hit-or-miss situation as well with David Johnson sharing the backfield. The Bears quarterback situation, this is, again, a great testament to your leagues having a team quarterback so people don't have to worry about that backup because we don't know, is it going to be Andy Dalton? Is it going to be Justin Fields? It's going to be Justin Fields. It may not be Justin Fields right away, though. Tyler Bass, again, just a couple rounds too early on the kicker. I do like the Washington defense, though, because, the Washington defense is one of the top defenses in the league fantasy-wise. They were last year. And I really like the Gabriel Davis pick. I've been watching him some in preseason, and I really think he's going to have a breakout year. So, again, I think if it's possible, this team may be better than the 50 Shades of Trey. I would give it an A+, but again, dinging it on the kicker thing, so it's going to get an A-.
Yeah, Mike goes A-. I go A on this one as well. I think both of the and I agree. When when you look at 50 Shades of Trey, Greg's team, you say, oh, okay, that's an A, and then you look at Binghamton Kittle, Myron's team, and you're like, well, that's also an A. I mean, and it was pretty clear to me that these were easy ones to give grades to. So I'm giving him an A as well. McCaffrey, Hopkins, I like the Jonathan Taylor pick. He's one of those guys you got to get early. He was able to grab him in the 3rd round. Chris Godwin, Kyle Pitts in round number 6, where it seems like a safe place where he's been going. I like Robbie Anderson because he's back with Sam Darnold. And I think that he's been, underappreciated, undervalued. And so there's good here. And I think, he's taken a chance on Hurts and Justin Fields, but I think that chance could pay off better dividends than others. So I like his team. It's an A. Turn Your Head and Goff is my guy Johnny, the Detroit Lions fan. And it's funny because I had a team a couple seasons ago called Turn Your Head and Coughlin for the Jaguars. And so looking at this one for Johnny, Mr. Johnny R., Devontae Adams in the first round, Nick Chubb, Justin Jefferson, Aaron Rodgers, James Robinson, Josh Jacobs, Harrison Butker, a kicker in the 7th round, Chase Claypool, Jamar Chase, Rams quarterback Matt Stafford, as he's a big lover of Matt, who played with Detroit, Devin Singletary, Marquez Callaway, New Orleans wide receiver, James White, Rams defense in the 14th round, Gerald Everett, Jonnu Smith, Elijah Moore, rookie wide receiver for the Jets, and Alexander Mattison, the backup to Dalvin Cook in Minnesota. Now, this team obviously went far against our rules of kickers and defenses. Also, I want to make note, his wife is a Packers fan. She is in the league as well. And he drafted, sitting next to her, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. And I'm not confident that this man has slept in the bed that he's used to, nor has he maybe even slept in the house the last couple days. So with that being said, Mike, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is, I started looking at it, so I'm like, wow, Devontae Adams, that may be kind of early. I don't know. Well, let's see what happens in the next round. Nick Chubb, well, I like Nick Chubb a lot. And wow, Justin Jefferson, I think he's going to have a great year. I think he's going to be capable of having a top 5 wide receiver type year here. And then we start to pump the brakes a little bit with the Packers quarterback, because I don't know if Aaron Rodgers should have been taken this early. I got him as an average draft position in the 7th round. So I really think that's a little bit early for him. But hey, that's who you want. It's all right. You'll make it up later, right? James Robinson, Jacksonville running back, Travis Etienne injury. This is going to be great. It's going to be, wow, we're chugging along. We're picking up steam again here. Josh Jacobs. Everybody's down on Josh Jacobs. I think he's going to have a fantastic year. Then we put the brakes on this thing, and this thing goes sideways in the 7th round with the kicker. I like Harrison Butker. He's not my top-ranked kicker, but the 7th round is just way too early for me. Now, you made up for that by coming right back with Chase Claypool as well. Jamar Chase, he was this great wide receiver. He can't seem to catch the ball in preseason. He's had 5 targets. He's only on one of them. He has the drops. Now, he was out last year. He sat out. So it's been 2 years since he played. So now he's at NFL speed. Maybe he's not at NFL speed, but everyone else around him is. So that's something to monitor with Jamar Chase. The Rams quarterback, I like coming back for that quarterback. I think that Matt Stafford's going to have a better year than Aaron Rodgers, believe it or not. So that, again, though, the second quarterback in the 10th round, I think there's more value in one of the other positions like running back or wide receiver. Devin Singletary is going to be a hit or miss pick. I think Marquez Callaway is going to come out of the blocks hot now that Michael Thomas is definitely going to be out for about 7 games. James White is a PPR league, so you can't go wrong in there. I like the Rams defense. They're a top 5 defense in just about every league I draft in, and I'm looking, and I just don't see the value in taking them at 14. I just don't. Gerald Everett, he's going to be the guy in Seattle. You're backing that up, coming back with Jonnu Smith. There's a couple question marks at tight end at both of those places, but I think you'll figure it out, and they'll figure it out. And, I think you'll be happy with what you did drafting both of those guys way late like that. Elijah Moore, I like him. I think he's going to be a tremendous receiver. I just don't know where that learning curve is going to be. Hopefully for this team, he picks it up right away. And Alexander Mattison, it's always a good way to back up Dalvin Cook. But we don't have Dalvin Cook, but maybe we'll use it as a trade chip later. Looking at this Turn Your Head and Golf team, I want to give them a great grade because of some of the great things they did in some spots in the draft here. But then there's 3 or 4 other rounds where I go, well, I don't know if I would have done that, so I have to knock it a little bit. So I'm going to give it a B-.
Yeah. I think I can agree, that Johnny, here made some moves that looked pretty good. And then he came up to me and asked me about the kicker and said, I'm thinking about taking this guy. Should I take him? And I mean, my rules are my rules, and my thoughts are my thoughts. I don't go there until the 17th or 18th round, the second to last or last round. So, I think I like the Claypool. It's fast. I like James Robinson move. I like the Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers tandem. 12 points when Rodgers throws to Devontae. Fourth round, I'm okay with it. Justin Jefferson, I'm okay with that. Getting James in the fifth round, that's good. He fell in our draft down at Hooters, and that's because at the time Travis Etienne and him were both playing. So, I'm good with this. I think that because of how high he drafted a defense and how way high, 10 rounds early he drafted a kicker, that I would have to say, and that some of these guys, you're taking a lot of chances. Now, the first 9 rounds outside of taking the kicker, I'm good with it. But then, or for 9-10 rounds, but then you're taking a chance with the rest of the draft. And, there's 10 teams in our league. So there's better picks, I think, to be had here where you didn't have to take as big of chances here and roll the dice. Could pay off dividends for him. But I'm going to give Johnny a B- as well. So I'm going to give him a B- in this. I was going to go with a B, but some of these moves, I have to. With the amount of chance, there's a lot of moves that I wouldn't have made. I think there was better stuff that could have been taken later in the draft, and I'd never go that high on a kicker. And I think that I've given B's to people that have taken kickers a couple rounds high. This was way too high, so I have to do that. A newcomer that we have, Macaulay's team Burb Derp, took Tom Brady in the first round. He was the last pick. He was the 10th pick of our snake draft here. So he took Tom Brady at the end of the first round. Then he went with Tyreek Hill, Mark Andrews, Joe Mixon. Browns quarterback, his backup quarterback in round number 5 with Baker Mayfield. Tyler Lockett, Kareem Hunt, Justin Tucker, a kicker in the 8th round. Kenyon Drake, Jared Cook, Tyler Boyd, Mike Gesicki, Ravens defense in the 13th round. Jarvis Landry, Rashad Penny, another defense in the 16th round with the Chiefs. Devontae Parker and Mark Ingram, one of the 3 heads in Houston at running back. Your thoughts?
Yeah, there's some stumbles right out of the gate here. I just don't like the Tom Brady pick first round. I just think that's weak. At most drafts, he's my number 4 or 5 ranked quarterback, believe it or not. But I know his average draft position is in the 6th to 7th round. So I purposely sit there and go, well, in this league, I will end up taking Tom Brady, but I'm going to wait. It's almost like a poker game. Like, you have to know when to play what, know what you're doing. So, not that this owner didn't know what they were doing. What's his team name again?
Team Burb Derp.
All right. Well, I like coming back with Tyreek Hill. I think that's bold. He's number 1 or number 2 on most of my draft cheat sheets. Mark Andrews, okay, I'm not going to argue with Mark Andrews at that point in the draft. I'm trusting some other guys who are already gone, but I know Kyle Pitts was still on the board, and pretty much draft to draft, Mark Andrews is just under Kyle Pitts on my ranking there. So, but I like Mark Andrews. I do. I always have. Joe Mixon, I think he's going to have a better year than people think. People are worried about the wide receivers impacting him. I don't think it's going to be the case. What's Baker Mayfield going to be able to do this year? They're talking about Super Bowl in Cleveland already. Just relax. Let's just get through week 1 here, Baker, right? So that we'll come back and see how this pick was this early in the draft here for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you would do that. Take Tom Brady at 1 and then take Cleveland at 5. I just don't get that. But that, hey, teach his own. Tyler Lockett, I think he's going to have another dominant year for him. But, he can't outdo DK Metcalf. DK is the man over there. Kareem Hunt, going to have an excellent year this year, I think. People are saying, well, he's not the number 1. Nick Chubb is just supreme. Nick Chubb is the man. So, Kareem Hunt being there, I think everybody envies that 1-2 punch that they have at running back. Justin Tucker, way too early for a kicker in the 8th round. Kenyon Drake, a little early on Kenyon Drake as well. Jared Cook, it's a little bit early for him as well. And to back up that tight end there. I would go back. I would go back and just continue to stock up on running back and receivers at this point in the draft. For me, the Ravens defense is a great defense to have if you're not going to stream. But again, a little too early for me. Jarvis Landry, Rashad Penny. I think that Rashad Penny is a very speculative play, but I do like it because Chris Carson has shown that he's been injury prone in the past. The Chiefs D a little bit early for that, and that's a second defense. I don't know if I'd ever carry a second defense unless I had to play two each week. Devontae Parker looks like there might be some value there for you at the end, and the Mark Ingram pick's going to be a hitter. It's either going to be a boom or a bust there. Overall, I'm going to have to give this team a B-. I think there's some work to do, but I think there's some pieces on this team that can be good and productive.
Yeah, looking at Team Burb Derp, Macaulay's team here, again, the Tom Brady pick in the first round, and, he had back-to-back, so then he took Tyreek Hill, but I would reverse these. Mark Andrews was early. Mixon, to me, there was running backs chosen, but, I feel like that was early. I think Baker was early. I think Lockett was later than I had thought. Kareem maybe a little bit earlier. The kicker was early. Kenyon Drake's a backup. Jared Cook, we'll see. Tyler Boyd, not sold on him. Surprised. He could be the third or fourth guy in Cincinnati at the end of the season. Defense was early. So I'm going to give this team a C for this. I have to give this team a C because there's a few more questions that I had here. Bench warmers, Aaron's team. Aaron, who's been a champion. She knows what she's doing. So this is Johnny's wife. Chiefs quarterback she takes in the first round. She takes Patty Mahomes. And she had the 5th pick of 10. So she was right in the middle. Antonio Gibson, George Kittle, Mike Evans, Chris Carson, Sony Michel with the Rams, Juju, Damian Harris, New England running back, A.J. Dillon, Cortland Sutton, Cole Beasley, Randall Cobb. She is a Green Bay fan, so you'll see some Green Bay here. Bucks defense in the 13th round, Eric Ebron, Mason Crosby, Green Bay kicker in the 15th round. Falcons quarterback is her backup, Matty Ryan. Marquise Hollywood Brown, and then Malcolm Brown, who's now in Miami. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm liking this team. I like it, first cap out of the shoe with Patty Mahomes there at quarterback. And then, when your coach tells the world that they want Antonio, that he wants his running back, Antonio Gibson, to be like the CMC of the Washington football team, I'm in. Sign me up. I like Antonio Gibson a lot. I've liked George Kittle ever since year one. Mike Evans around too early. Chris Carson around too late. So, hey, you made up for it right there. Sony Michel way too early. I got Sony Michel going. I know there was injuries, but, people were picking up Sony Michel very late in the draft as a afterthought. Juju Smith, I don't know why everybody's so down on Juju Smith. He's got an average draft position of the 9th round. Damian Harris, I like Damian Harris a lot. I think he's going to have a better year than what everybody thinks he's going to have. He's going an average of the 10th round. A.J. Dillon, I like A.J. Dillon a lot. Might have been a little bit early on him as well. He's going to average of the 13th round. Cortland Sutton, a lot of people, forget about this guy. They see Jerry Jeudy. Cortland Sutton was dinged up. So I think Cortland Sutton's going to have a great year. He's just now coming into his own, if you would. Cole Beasley, the only thing about the Cole Beasley thing is these new sanctions and rules with the vaccination thing, and I'm not going to get all political about it or anything, but I am going to say that vaccination status thing that they have in the NFL is a serious thing. As a matter of fact, breaking away from this for just a quick second, Dan, please let me just spit this out. Urban Meyer may be in hot water in Jacksonville over the vaccination issue because he apparently, or he's allegedly being accused of saying that the vaccination status of players was in fact a determining factor on who they were going to keep and who they weren't going to keep. And that's a direct violation of everything they've got set up with the NFL Players Association. So, keep your eye on that situation, but you got to keep your eye on players like this because this is going to affect your thing. If indeed he's not a vaccinated player, instead of missing up to 5 days without the negative test, he's going to miss up to 10 days. That's a whole game. That's a bad situation, and it's a bad situation for everyone around him. So you're really going to pay attention to vaccination status and how these guys could impact your team later on in the drafts. I think Randall Cobb's going to have a little bit of a bounce back here. I like the Bucs defense a lot. A little bit early for me, though. I like Eric Ebron. They're going to make a concerted effort to get Pat Freiermuth involved in the offense, though. Mason Crosby a tad bit early. Everybody's down on Matt Ryan. I think he's going to have a pretty decent year there. I know Julio is going to be gone, but Matt Ryan is still Matt Ryan. He did the same things at Boston College. And finishing up with Marquise Hollywood Brown, that's a boomer bust pick. Same thing with the Malcolm Brown. So overall, I like this team. I like some of the parts. It seemed to be a little bit early for some guys for me. So I'm going to give this team a B- as well.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this team, I mean, Erin obviously very smart. She knows what she's doing with this, and she's been a champion. So I would say, yes, there's some that I kind of scratch my head a little bit, but I understand her love for Green Bay as she waited on A.J. Dillon until round 9. Some people went way too high on him, so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Chris Carson in the 5th round. That's good value. I think Mike Evans in the 4th round is good value. Sony Michel was early. Damian Harris not sold on. Cole Beasley, it's the 11th round. You already have a bunch of receivers at that point. Marquise Hollywood Brown at the end in the 17th round, I think is awesome. I think Matt Ryan as your backup is great too. So yeah, so I would say, if you're going to give Miss Erin a B, I think that I'm going to have to give her a B plus on this. So I'm going to give Miss Erin a B plus, and so that's where I'm going here. We got 2 more teams before we take a step aside. When we come back after the fast break, Mike and I are going to kind of go a little bit quicker here to make sure that we get to every team because we have a bunch more teams left to go. So I want to make sure that we get to everybody and everybody gets a grade. The dump Toohey is John T's team. Stephon Diggs, Travis Kelce, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson, Gus Edwards following the news on J.K. Dobbins, Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham Jr., Zach Moss, Deebo Samuel, Trevor Lawrence in round number 10, Ronald Jones, McCole Hardman, David Johnson, Irv Smith, and Irv Smith obviously has gotten hurt, and he went with him. Darrell Williams, Bills defense, Ryan Suckup, and a third quarterback. He decided in the 18th round to take Deshaun Watson and take a chance on that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't mind taking chances like that at the end of the draft, and I see what he did there. He snuck the defense and the kicker in a round early. Then he made up for it with the speculative pick on the Watson situation, so I like that. I do question Stephon Diggs in the first, but getting Kelce in the second is value to me because, believe it or not, he's been going in first rounds of drafts. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think he's going to have I think this is a good year for him. I think he's going to have a bigger impact on the team. Russell Wilson, you can't go wrong there. Gus the Bus, I think he's going to have a fantastic year filling in. He averages over 4 yards a carry. Antonio Brown, that's a boomer bust pick, but that's way too early for him, for me. Same thing with Odell Beckham, way too early. You can get these guys in the 12th, 13th, 14th round. Same thing with Zach Moss, Deebo Samuel, same thing. Jaguars quarterback, same thing. Ronald Jones, same thing. We're moving down the list here, but I keep getting these guys that are a little bit early, and that's all right. Maybe you're valuing guys a little bit different than I do, and that's okay. As long as you're happy with your team. I'm just telling you what you're asking me to grade. I'm giving out the grade here. Irv Smith, it's an unfortunate situation that he has right now, so you may want to look for help elsewhere. David Johnson, boomer bust. Same thing with McCole Hardman, boomer bust pick. I do like the Buffalo defense. I do like Ryan Suckup. There's going to be a lot of points there in Tampa. And again, the speculative pick with Deshaun Watson, I like that a lot. What's this team name again?
The Dump Toohey.
All right. Yeah, I think this team's going to get a B- as well. I like the team. I like some of the components. It's just it didn't do anything for me first cap out of the chute. However, I really like the Kelce pick in the second.
Yeah, I mean, I like what John did in rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, arguably 5. Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham, I'd stay away from. Zach Moss, a little bit higher here. He is a Bills fan. And, 3 quarterbacks, I understand at the end of it saying, okay, you know what, I'll take Deshaun Watson and see what happens. Like the people that take Le'Veon Bell the year that he was supposed to be suspended for a longer time and it was only like a game. So I could see that. Bill's defense and the kicker going around early so you can make that Deshaun Watson pick that maybe you were eyeing. I like that. Darrell Williams knowing that, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that's your handcuff. So this is somebody that values the handcuff, which is a good thing. I'm gonna have to, you gave John T a B minus. I'm gonna give him a B. I'm gonna have to sit with a B here and go with a B for him on this one. Final team I will not be grading is my team. So Mike and I are doing a draft grades for all Central New York owners inside of the Fantasy Football Power Hour. These are all the leagues that draft at the Wildcat Sports Pub on 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York. Draft grades for every single team owner. There's a bunch of them, and when we come back from the break, we'll try and rock through some of this stuff. Mike, here's my team. I drafted, I believe, 3rd overall. So this is my team. I was going to go with Derrick Henry, and I'd gone with Derrick Henry in our league down in Florida, so I went a different way. Alvin Kamara, 1st round. Then Calvin Ridley, Saquon Barkley in the 3rd. CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott for the tandem. Javonte Williams, T. Higgins, Logan Thomas, Laviska Shenault in round number 9. Jalen Waddle, Michael Carter, Will Fuller the 5th. Carlos Hyde, with the news of Travis Etienne in the 13th round to back up James Robinson. Anthony Firkser, the starting tight end of Tennessee. Justin Jackson, knowing that obviously somebody's going to have to do something else besides Austin Eckler with the Chargers. That was round number 15. Then backup quarterback Kirk Cousins in the 16th round. Bears defense and Josh Lambo, my kicker from Jacksonville. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I like your team overall. You can't go wrong with Kamara. You're backing it up with Calvin Ridley. You should have an excellent year. Saquon, can he stay healthy? CeeDee Lamb, I love that. I love the pick. Dak, a little bit early on the quarterback pick, only by a couple rounds, but you got the matchup there with CD, so that's good. Every time they score, you score twice, so that's a great thing. Javonte Williams, I like him a lot. He's shooting up the draft boards quick. He averages the 7th round, but if you need to take him in the 6th to make sure you get him, it is what it is. T. Higgins, he's average draft position in the 9th round. Logan Thomas, average position in the 11th round, but I like these guys, so he's just a little bit early. Laviska Shenault's been shooting up draft boards lately. He's going to average at a 13th round. He started out like 17th or 18th, but I think they're going to really make him that Swiss Army knife tool that they have there. I like Carlos Hyde. I like that because, Travis Etienne's out. Carlos Hyde knows the system. I like Anthony Firkser. Somebody's got to catch the ball in Tennessee from that tight end position. Justin Jackson, speculative pick there. I see the Vikings quarterback, the Kirk Cousins, the Mendoza line of quarterbacks. I have the Bears defense ranked 5 or 6 across the board, so there's proof positive that wait until the end. You're still going to get a good defense. And then Josh Lambo is a kicker, a little homer pick there, but I don't mind that at all. Overall, I'd give you an A minus.
Okay. I'll take it. And an A minus on this one. And yeah, the Logan Thomas one, I didn't really want to go there at that time, but I think at that point there was a bunch of tight ends that were gone. And looking at my team, I said, well, do I wait another round or do I try to get somebody that I feel good about? And Fitzmagic's throwing to him. So, Old Faithful. With that being said, those are our draft grades for the Captains on Call League. Once again, for those of you just tuning in, these are our draft grades for you for the Captains on Call League that calls the Wildcat Sports Pub home. And the CNY draft, Phil C. got a B plus from both of us. Nicholas C. got a B from Mike and a B minus from me. Zach got a B from Mike and an A from me. Greg got an A minus from Mike and an A from me. Myron got an A minus from Mike and an A from me. Johnny got a B minus from the both of us. Macaulay got a B minus from Mike and a C from me. And Aaron got a B from Mike, a B plus from me. John T got a B minus from Mike and a B from me. And Mike gave my team an A minus. With that being said, we'll take a step aside. We'll come back with the team, with the league that we made history with this year, doing a Zoom call with former Syracuse football players. I don't know anytime that Syracuse football players have publicized being in a fantasy football league together, let alone drafted live, let alone on a big screen inside of a local restaurant in central New York, and on top of all of that, together in this league. So I think we made history on history on history to have former Syracuse players drafting together from around the country with fans on a big screen at the Wildcat. We'll talk about this league right after this, as Mike and I will run through and give our votes on what we think about these teams after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Cabal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecabal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cabal needs. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Back here inside the Cafe Kubal studios on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life, here on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, wakeupcalldt.com, as well as facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/livenowdt, and youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, all inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. This is the Fantasy Football Power Hour, not one of, not a, but the Fantasy Football Power Hour. And I do want to make a note here because Erin weighed in during the break and she said, you know, why are you knocking rounds that players are taking? If you know Johnny didn't take him in this round, then I would have taken him. And so, you know, I think obviously, yes, you know, Mike and I talk about it all the time, is have your own plan when you go into the draft. Don't let the draft dictate to you, but obviously you have to adjust. And with Aaron wanting Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, you know, Johnny has to take him when he takes him. Now, Johnny had 8th pick. Aaron had 5th. So, granted, you know, Aaron passed on Devontae Adams. Johnny took Devontae Adams right after that. And, yeah, the draft is going to show you different pieces and show you different looks and different things because, you know, people are not going to be available. Again, like Logan Thomas, I didn't want to draft Logan Thomas. I didn't want to draft a tight end necessarily there, but the draft had taken so many tight ends that, in my opinion, I wanted at least a serviceable guy at that point. So I do get your point, Aaron, and I do understand that. And obviously, sitting in the room, I know when certain people go, you have to make certain moves. So I totally get that. It's more for me along the lines of, in certain rounds. Obviously, kickers and defenses drafted high. I'm not going to do that. And so if you would have taken Harrison Butker and Johnny takes Harrison Butker, the 7th round is way too high for a kicker. And so that one I'm not going to defend in any way, shape, or form, that someone should take a kicker, whoever takes a kicker in the 7th round. But in the world of knowing that somebody's a big Green Bay fan and they're going to draft 2 picks after you and you feel like they're going to go there, again, don't draft based on somebody else, draft on you. And taking Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers in the first 4 rounds, I'm 100% okay with, because that's a move that I would look at making. So round-wise, the draft is going to dictate certain things, and it's going to make you think certain things at certain times. But at the same time, looking at this, and Phil writing, I had 9th pick, not 3rd. And so, that was, and Phil, obviously I made that correction earlier in the show. That's for whatever reason, when they were input, it had you at 3rd pick, which was not correct. And so you getting Josh Allen at the end of round 1, I've already said is totally fine. So I think that's more than okay. I know not everybody's going to agree with all the grades and agree with all of the analysis, and that's why we have the conversation. But please understand and know that there's certain rules that Mike and I have at the beginning of every draft, which is you don't take kickers and defenses until the end. We've been that way for years, maybe decades. And outside of that is you don't let people dictate to you what to do. You will have to adjust, like I had to with Logan Thomas, but you shouldn't just throw everything to the wind. And, when people take tight ends and there's a run on it, and I'm seeing that there's 3 running backs I really want still there, I may pass. And I got Logan Thomas because there were guys I passed on when people were making runs on other things and doing other things. I wanted to get other players, and that's why I ended up with Logan Thomas, because I didn't want to go high on somebody necessarily that I just didn't feel was worth it at that time. We all have different strategies, and obviously my leagues know what they're doing, and so does Erin, because she's won a championship. So AFC Richmond Ted Lasso is the one that we go to now. This is the Dream Chasers League. This team belongs to Marcus Coleman, and Marcus Coleman is a former Syracuse football player. He joined us for this, and he drafted Dalvin Cook in the 1st round, then Devontae Smith, Darren Waller, Kareem Hunt, Cooper Kupp, Eagles quarterback, Chase Claypool, Jarvis Landry, Saints quarterback, A.J. Dillon, Cole Beasley, Eric Ebron, Bills D in round 13, Nico Collins, Houston wide receiver, Steelers defense right after that, Cole Kmet, Chuba Hubbard, and Rodrigo Blankenship, his kicker. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I like Dalvin Cook. I hope he can stay healthy. He seemed to stay healthy last year. Devonta Smith, that's just way too early for me, but that, it is what it is there. But coming back and getting Darren Waller in a 3rd, I think that shows good value. Kareem Hunt, that's a little early for me as well. Same thing with Cooper Kupp. These guys are great, but you probably get them a couple rounds later. Looking at the Jalen Hurts, I think that's about right for stepping up. If you believe in that guy, sometimes you do have to step up, and sometimes you do have to buy early, but you can't spend your draft doing that, because you're going to find out at the end of the year what I mean. Jarvis Landry and Chase Claypool there in the middle, I like that. I like Claypool, obviously. Jarvis Landry. Winston, we're going to have to see if your league penalizes for interceptions. That could be a questionable thing to have Jameis Winston as your quarterback, but I think they're making corrections there with Sean Payton in New Orleans. A.J. Dillon, that's a speculative pick, but I like it. Same thing with Cole Beasley. Eric Ebron, I like him at the tight end there. Buffalo, a little bit early on the defense there for me. I do like the upside of Nico Collins. He's near the top of my adjusted explosive index. A little bit early for the Pittsburgh defense as well for me. I do like Cole Kmet. I think he's going to continue to bust out. And we are going to see some Chuba Hubbard this year. They're going to get him on the field. And again, I think he's just as talented, not right this minute, but has the potential to be just as talented as CMC in the future there. So that's either good or bad, depending on who you are. And Rodrigo Blankenship is a great kicker there at the end. So all in all, I'd give this team a B-.
Yeah, I think looking at this team for Marcus Coleman, I like the Dalvin Cook. Devontae was early. Darren Waller was good. Kareem Hunt was good. Cooper Kupp good. Jalen Hurts, he's a backup in my mind right now if he's on my team. Chase Claypool, Jarvis Landry. I'm okay with Claypool. Landry has underperformed. A.J. Dillon, great value in the 10th round. Ebron, good value in the 12th round. Beasley, arguably good value too there in round number 11. So, and Steelers defense in the 15th round. Yeah, a little bit early and against, what we typically say. But it's later on here. The kicker at the end, I like Rodrigo. I like Chuba Hubbard in round number 17. He's fallen in a lot if he's been drafted at all. Basically, if he's still there when I'm drafting, I'm picking him up in leagues. So I'm going to give AFC Richmond Ted Lasso. I'm going to give Marcus's team. You gave him a B-. I'm going to give him a B. Team Wiggum. Julian Wiggum, former Syracuse player. Derrick Henry, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, Josh Jacobs. Pat Mahomes in round 5. Mark Andrews, Jerry Jeudy, Robbie Anderson, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, James Conner, Sony Michel in round 12. Rams defense, Browns quarterback, Latavius Murray, Zach Ertz, Harrison Butker, the kicker, and Trey Lance in round 18. Your thoughts?
Yeah, overall, I like the team. This guy, obviously, this is not his first rodeo. I wouldn't think by looking at the team. Derrick Henry's an easy pick in the first round, but then, backing that up with Keenan Allen may have been a little bit higher, and he's projected in the 4th, and same thing with Mike Evans, a little bit higher, but when you look at the body of the team, he makes up for it elsewhere, like, the quarterback there, Pat Mahomes, going to average in the 3rd round, so he made up for that in the 5th, so it's okay to be up around or down around, just as long as you make it back up again. Mark Andrews, I think that's a great pick right there in the 6th round, that's right where he needs to go. Jerry Jeudy, I like him a lot, I think he's the best wide receiver there in Denver. Robbie Anderson, again, to me, that's a great pick, but his draft position is a little less than that, a little lower than that in the 10th round. But I like him. Jamar Chase, we addressed that on the other league. Hope he corrects the drops. Jalen Waddle, I thought he was the best wide receiver in the draft, so I'm okay with taking him there in the 10th. Average draft position is 13, but I'm okay with taking him there. James Conner, it's a little bit early for me. Same thing with Sony Michel. Same thing with the Rams defense. Again, great defense, just a little bit early for me. Baker Mayfield, that could be a great speculative pick there, to back you up on the bye week. Just check whatever the bye week is, see who plays so-and-so in week 12. See who plays the Jets in week 12 or see who plays Washington in week 12. And that's because you're not going to take Mahomes off the field. Latavius Murray, again, it's a hit-or-miss pick. Same thing with Zach Ertz. Harrison Butker, great kicker there. And, another speculative pick on the quarterback in Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo at the end. I like the speculative picks at the end of the draft. All in all, I'm going to give this team a B.
Yeah, I think that Julian – it's funny, like, overall, I think in the moment, I was questioning some stuff that Julian was doing, but – looking at his team and the value that he got and where he got it, I'm going to make this simple. I'm going to give him an A. So you're giving him a B, I'm giving him an A. I think that he got good value at good times, and I think he found a way to even his team out nicely. And from top to bottom, from rounds 1 through, I shouldn't say top to bottom, from rounds 1 through 18, I think he just made smart picks at really good times. So I'm going to give Wiggum an A. E-Dubs All-Stars, which is my buddy Maddie's team, Alvin Kamara, DK Metcalf, Robert Woods, and he's from the California area, so you might see a little bit of that. Not a ton in here, but you see a little bit. Chris Godwin, Chris Carson, Bills quarterback in the 6th round, Kenny Galladay, Mike Davis, Gerald Everett, Tyler Boyd, Ronald Jones II, Marquez Callaway, Trey Sermon, Mark Ingram II, Irv Smith, Bears quarterback, Cardinals D, and Chris Boswell. Matt listened to what we always, defensive kicker, and that's where he went at the end here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, he gets brownie points for that. First calf out of the chute for listening, so that's great. Alvin Kamara, I like him a lot, of course. How can you go wrong there? Backing it up with DK Metcalf, about a round early, but that's all right. But then we continued that trend with Robert Woods. About the 5th round is where he's going. Same thing with Chris Godwin's going to average of the 6th round. Now, again, let me back this up. I'm giving you average draft positions. I'm giving you how you could play more effectively. I'm not saying these guys are bad. I'm just letting you know where you took them and where the general consensus thinks they are taken or should be taken. And, when I give that information, that's solid. That's solid information, because I've been in drafts where it's amazing to me. It's almost like the point spread in games with the Vegas guys, right? How do they always get it within a half a point? It's the same thing on the average draft position I'm able to give out. I'm lucky with, how I'm able to get that together. I'm very fortunate there. Kenny Galladay, tad bit early on Mike Davis. But again, I like those guys. Gerald Everett, he's going to be the guy over Will Dissly in Seattle, so I'm good there. Tyler Boyd, I don't know. I get this feeling he might be left out, but maybe not, because of the dropsy issue with Jamar Chase. So, and T. Higgins is going to be a great guy in the slot. Ronald Jones, hit or miss. Marquez Callaway should have a strong beginning of the year. I like Trey Sermon a lot. I think it's tremendous value getting him in the 13th round. Trey Sermon's going an average of the 10th round. So he did 3 rounds better there. So looking at Mark Ingram, again, boom or bust. Irv Smith, it's unfortunate. He's got the injury. You're going to have to drop him, pick somebody else up. The Bears quarterback situation, that's a good situation if you're a Justin Fields fan. And I like the Arizona defense and the kicker. You get brownie points for doing that to my standard, or what I like to do with the defense and the kicker very last. So I'm going to give this team an A+.
What did you give them?
A+.
A+. Oh, Matt is going to love that. So an A+. Highest
score today for me so far.
Yeah, it very much is. So Mike giving an A+ to Maddie's team, and
now, let me be clear. In the other league, there, if somebody's still listening from the other league, I want to be clear. There were a couple A+ earned, but I had a small deduct for the defense and kicker thing, like in the 7th round and stuff. I can't deal with that.
Yeah, no, and I understand that completely, and that's why I went where I went, with some teams that maybe get an A+, got an A-, or maybe a B+ instead of an A-. So for Maddie's team, I like it. I like Kamara and DK Metcalf. The Robert Woods pick early, Chris Godwin, Chris Carson. Wait until the 6th round and get the second best fantasy quarterback in the league in Josh Allen. Kenny Galladay after that, Mike Davis. These guys you're taking a chance on. Gerald Everett, Tyler Boyd. You're taking a chance on all of those guys. But, so in the kind of middle part of this, and Marquez Callaway, a lot of chances taken here. But some could prove to be helpful. I like Trey Sermon late. I like Mark Ingram, Irv Smith, Bears quarterback later on, and then Cardinals defense and Chris Boswell. You're not going to do yourself bad there. That's why Mike and I say you wait till the end for a kicker and a defense, because look at what you're getting at the end. Anyways, so Mike, you gave them an A+. I'm going to give them an A-. So, because there's the middle of the draft kind of made me sit a little bit with it and say, So, actually, you know what? I got to go with my gut. So, I said A-. I'm going with an A, because that's what I was going to write down. So I'm going to give him an A, but it's not an A+ because of the middle of the draft, where I have some questions. Shamarko Thomas, former Syracuse player. Zeke Elliott, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Adam Thielen, Kyle Pitts, J.K. Dobbins, which obviously that's got to be dropped. Brandon Ayuk, Cowboys quarterback, Dak Prescott in round 9. Will Fuller the 5th, Noah Fant, Marvin Jones Jr., Jamal Williams in the 13th round, Devin Singletary, David Johnson, Tua Tagovailoa in the 16th round, Niners defense, and Graham Gano, the Giants kicker. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is the best team I've seen all day, just based on where this person's drafted, where they were able to get value up and down. Again, stretching for Zeke in the first because his average draft position's in the second, but coming right back with Stephon Diggs, who's in the top 3 just about everywhere across the board. On my rankings, Justin Jefferson, I think he's ranked top 10, but he's going to end up top 5. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they're going to unload on him this year. They're going to give him a lot of work, so I like that. Adam Thielen, tad bit early, but you made that up with, waiting an extra round on Kyle Pitts. The J.K. Dobbins thing is unfortunate. You're going to have to make a drop there. Brandon Ayuk, I like the speculative pick there. I like Dak Prescott, tremendous value, I think, there. People are down on Dak, but again, he's average draft position 7th round. You're picking him up in the 8th round. You can't go wrong there. Will Fuller, a little bit early for Will Fuller, but Will Fuller's averaging the 13th round. But, from what you've done so far in the draft, these are guys that are going to be on your bench anyway. So if you have a gut feel in the late middle part of the draft, there's nothing wrong with reaching out. If you just follow average draft position, you're going to miss out on guys you want to take chances on. So when I'm focused on average draft position, I'm focused on who my starters are and what's really happening. I try to stay on average draft position through the whole draft, but you're going to have to zig when they zag. So things are going to change up for you sometimes. But up and down, I like this team a lot. I like Devin Singletary. I think he's going to have a good year. I like Jamal Williams. I think he's going to have a great PPR year. David Johnson, hit or miss, taking the chance on two at the end. The 49ers D, which is up there, top 5, and Graham Gano, which is top 10 kicker. So you can't go wrong with that. So I'm going to give this team an A+.
Yeah, 2 A+s in a row coming from Mr. Mike Sofka. And so, with Shamarko's team, and it's funny because Shamarko said, he goes, Dan, I don't know what I'm doing, but we gave him the cheat sheet that Mike put together here for us. I told him that obviously, we could go over different things and help them where we can help them as well. Always want to help people out because I want people to draft at their best because I don't want to play against teams that are not. So, I want people to actually be the best that they can be here. So
let me get this straight.
This
guy's never played fantasy football. You
right.
give him one of my cheat sheets, which are available on my site, HallOfFameFantasyFootball.com. And you and I didn't talk about this before. And I sit here and I tell you that this is the best team I've seen so far. I give it an A+. What does that tell you? I'm just, I don't know. I love it. I love it. Thank you for the positive feedback. Thank you for the testimony.
Yeah, absolutely. So Shamarko Thomas using the sheet, the league's using the sheet and going through it here. So Mike gives him an A+. Shamarko, for me, I like the Zeke and Diggs and Jefferson and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Kyle Pitts late is good. The J.K. Dobbins thing, obviously you got to change that. Brandon Ayuk, good. I'm not sold on him, but 8th round, that's okay. Dak in the 9th round, I love. Noah Fant in the 11th round, good as well. Marvin Jones, people sleeping on him. Jamal Williams, I'm not a fan, but he got him at the toward the end here in round 13. Devin Singletary, I don't know why. There's 2 guys in Buffalo, folks, and they're both going to run the ball. So why people let them go to the end of the draft is beyond me. Getting Tua at the end here, another good move. And David Johnson, I'm obviously not sold on that, but I really don't have much to balk at outside of, David Johnson, but that's later on, and you're going to have to make a change with J.K. Dobbins. So you're going to give him an A+. I'm going to give Shamarko an A. And Team Pfeiffer, Scott's team, Devontae Adams, Nick Chubb, George Kittle, Amari Cooper, Tyler Lockett, Odell Beckham Jr., Green Bay quarterback in the 7th round, Chase Edmonds, Brandon Cooks, Kenyon Drake, Jonnu Smith, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Justin Tucker, my favorite kicker, going in the 13th round, Ravens defense, and then J.D. McKissick, Atlanta Falcons kicker, Alexander Madison, and Giovanni Bernard. Thoughts?
Yeah, just overall looking at this team, I like this team up and down. Devontae Adams and Nick Chubb, you can't go wrong there. And then coming back and Kittle. Kittle's averaging in the 4th round, but I get it. Sometimes you got to take it in the 3rd. Sometimes you got to take it in the round, round later. That when you gave up a round, no big deal. Make up for it later. Amari Cooper is going to average in the 6th round, though. That's where it gets, that's where the wheels come off a little bit. Tyler Lockett is a great pick, I think. Odell Beckham's a little bit of a reach. You can get him a little bit later. I like Aaron Rodgers. It's a great thing. He's right on the money in the 7th round with Aaron Rodgers. Chase Edmonds, I think he's going to have a great year. We talked about Brandon Cooks earlier in the show. It's a boomer bust. It's Watson or Tyrod, and it's boomer bust with Brandon Cooks, but I'm not afraid of that at that point in the draft there. Looking at Jonnu Smith, I think he's going to be the better of the 2 to start with in New England, so I think you're good there. Kenyon Drake's going to get some touches. I don't think he's going to supplant Josh Jacobs, but I think he's going to get his fair share of touches, so I'm okay with that. Marquise Brown's a bit of a stretch there. The kicker in the 13th and the defense in the 14th, a bit of a stretch as well for me. J.D. McKissick, everybody's down on J.D. McKissick across the board, and I get it, Jared. What's the cat's name from Jared Patterson? Isn't he there in Washington? Isn't he the guy that ran like 8 touchdowns and like 4,000 yards in the game for Buffalo? that guy's there, so that I can see where J.D. McKissick might get supplanted there. Matt Ryan, that's good value there for the quarterback. Alexander Madison, I think that's great that you scoop him up because you see the value in a handcuff and a trade bait later. And Giovanni Bernard, PPR league, you can't go wrong there at the last pick. All in all, I'm going to give this team a B+.
Yeah, I think looking at this team for Scott, I like the early moves. Adams, Chubb, and Kittle, Cooper, Lockett, like them all. Getting Green Bay quarterback in the 7th round, great. And value with Brandon Cooks, Jonnu Smith a little bit high. Hollywood Brown, I don't know why he's fallen so much. I do like this. McKissick, 15th round, nothing wrong with that. Ravens defense got his defense and kicker higher, and so you gave them a B+. And I am going to second that and also give them a B+ in this. I think Scott is deserving of this. Scott, one of the new members of our fantasy league, so welcome to Scott. And then we'll run through these so we can get to our last one here. We'll rapid fire these. Robert Welsh, also a former Syracuse player. He drafted Tyreek Hill, Austin Eckler, Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, David Montgomery, Deontay Johnson, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert, Robert Tonyan, Raheem Mostert, Rams quarterback Matt Stafford, Corey Davis, Michael Thomas in round 12, Curtis Samuel, Philip Lindsay, Bengals quarterback Malcolm Brown, and then Broncos D and Young Ho Koo. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm liking this team a lot. I'm looking at the picks, and Tyreek Hill, some people say it's a stretch. He should have went in a second. Tyreek Hill's an excellent guy. He made up for it with Austin Eckler. Again, he got it right where he should have there with Austin Eckler. Antonio Gibson, I like him a lot. There's value there. He's going to average as a second. So up and down, it's good if you go plus minus throughout the whole draft and you make up for it on other picks. That's great. I like the speculative pick again with Michael Thomas, the Corey Davis pick. I like this team up and down. I think Terry McLaurin's going to have a great year. The boomer bust pick at the end with Philip Lindsay and Michael Thomas. You've got the injured reserve, so you can make a move there. That's great value. Curtis Samuel, I like that. The 3 quarterbacks thing's the only question I have on this team. But, I get it. It's late. He's available, and I do like Joe Burrow. So, and Malcolm Brown, a bust pick again. And then, again, great points for the defense and kicker at the end of the draft here. So, brownie points for that. I give us a solid A.
Yeah, I think Robbie Welsh, looking at his right now, for me, I like the Tyreek Hill pick. I like Antonio Gibson in the 3rd round. Terry McLaurin, I like that too. Austin Eckler, I'm not as sold on, but it's PPR, so I know the value there, and so I could see that. I think I don't value him as high as some other people. Chargers quarterback at the 7th round, I'm good. 3 quarterbacks, getting the defense and the kicker at the end, yeah, I agree with you. I like that. Malcolm Brown, I like that pick as well. Philip Lindsay might do some good things and shock some people in Houston, although I don't like the 3-headed running back situation going into the season, but we'll see how it shakes out. I think Philip Lindsay is an undrafted rookie, had proven himself with the Broncos, and I think he could do it again with Houston. And so overall, this team has value, it has talent, and I think there's some good on this team. So you're going to give them an A, and I would say that I'll give Welsh an A as well. I'll give him an A in this. Bronx, New York City killer is Christopher McKenzie's team, he's also a former Syracuse player. Saquon Barkley, Patriots team quarterback. Julio, and this is when Cam Jones is still there. Julio Jones, Seahawks team quarterback. Juju, TJ Hawkinson, Leonard Fournette, AJ Green, Deebo Samuel, Logan Thomas, Evan Engram back-to-back, Houston quarterback Deshaun Watson or whoever's they're going to be there, Antonio Brown, Deshaun Jackson, James White, Carlos Hyde, Jason Myers, the kicker, and Giants defense. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this team is really reaching up and down, I think the first 3 picks, those guys went a little bit early for my taste. He made up for it with Seattle with Russell Wilson. Juju Smith-Schuster was a little bit early for me. Made up for it, though, with T.J. Hawkinson. Leonard Fournette's a hit-or-miss pick, maybe a round early. A.J. Green, that's just way too early for me. Same thing with Deebo Samuel. Logan Thomas, that's a good pick at about that point. He's going to average the first pick in the 11th round. Backing that up with Evan Ingram, I get it. Texans quarterback, again, that's a roll of the dice, but I'm not afraid of that. Same thing with Antonio Brown, a boom or bust player. Same thing with Deshaun Jackson. Same thing with James White, Carlos Hyde. And I'm going to call this the boom or bust team here. So I'm going to give this team a solid B. They did the right thing with the kicker and the defense at the very end of the draft. I know they're inverted there, but whatever. They're both at the end, so I'll give you credit for that. Taking some chances. This is a boom or bust team, and I like it. I'll give it a solid B.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chris McKenzie's team, former Syracuse player. I'm going to give him a B as well because I think he has enough talent, but there's a lot of question marks, so I'll give him a B. Team Medrano, a nice female that we've welcomed into this league here, first time ever for us, and I love having men and women in our leagues. I don't understand not having men and women in leagues, and not only have I had women in my leagues, but they have won consistently, and they've won in multiple leagues. Becky, Aaron, as well as Lisa, shout out to each and every single one of you. Team Medrano, DeAndre Hopkins, Najee Harris, Joe Mixon, Allen Robinson II, Bucks quarterback Tom Brady, DeAndre Swift, Melvin Gordon, Mike Gesicki, Michael Gallup, Damian Harris, Tony Pollard, Bucks D in the 12th round, Mike Williams, Henry Ruggs III, Devontae Parker, Austin Hooper, Big Ben, and Greg Zuerlein, the kicker. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's definitely a playoff team, possibly a championship team. This team may supplant the other two as the better teams I've seen all day here. The only thing I'm gonna for is the Bucks defense a little bit early, but I get it. They're a great defense, but that's a little bit early for me. So outside of that, I would say this is a solid team up and down. Najee Harris a tad bit early, but it's a great team. Joe Mixon tad bit early, but he's going to do great things. Allen Robinson, same thing. Brady almost right on the money there for you. The Swift question, be watching that groin. Again, we talked about that in the other league. Swift's groins could be a problem to start the season. I'm not afraid of Melvin Gordon, even with Javonte Williams there. Gesicki's good. Gallup, Damian Harris, Pollard, great speculative pick. Mike Williams, Henry Ruggs, I think that's great value there. Devontae Parker, Austin Hooper, and Ben and Zuerlein there. I think this is a good team. Small deduct for the D that early in the 12th for me, so I'm going to give this A-.
Yeah, I think Fabiola coming into our league, I appreciate it, and I appreciate Julian welcoming her in and bringing her in. So I'm happy to have her here. And ultimately, I think there's talent. I think there's a couple questions, but when they were taken was good. So I'm okay giving an A- as well. So Mike's going to give an A-. I'm going to give an A-. Next one that we have up here is Covino Pride. I will not. I didn't do my best job at consistently drafting through with this, but this is my mom's team. My mom has been in fantasy. Every few years she'll sneak in. Her team is called Covino Pride. That is her maiden name. And so my mom, I drafted this team, but I think I could have done a better job at paying more attention initially. But she has, so I'm not going to give my grade, and Mike can give his. Covino Pride took Travis Kelce, Jonathan Taylor, A.J. Brown, Miles Sanders, Ravens quarterback, T. Higgins, DJ Moore, Myles Gaskin, Darrell Henderson Jr., DJ Chark Jr., Gus Edwards, Tyler Higbee, Titans quarterback, Nyheim Hines, Michael Pittman, Elijah Moore, Patriots D, and Matt Gay, the kicker for the Rams. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I like the team up and down. And one thing I want to convey to everybody, again, when I'm talking these average draft positions, it's almost like that penny cup or that penny tray at the 7-Eleven or the bodega or wherever. You need a penny, you take one. If you got a penny, you leave it. That's what you're doing with this average draft position. Maybe you steal one in one round, but you overpay a little bit in the other. As long as it all comes out in the wash, you're going to be fine. As long as you end up even. If you don't have to bring a whole roll of pennies and dump it in the tray, you're good. Travis Kelce, he's been going in the first round. I'm not afraid of that this year. It's not my cup of tea, but I get it. Jonathan Taylor, I think it's a little bit early there. Same thing with A.J. Brown's a great pick, right on the money there. Miles Sanders, a little bit early for him. Ravens quarterback, how can you not like Lamar Jackson? How can you not like him in the fifth round? I know it was 6, but I like him. He's going to score. He's going to like him some Lamar. We can't say Cam likes him some Cam anymore. I have to say Lamar likes him some Lamar. T. Higgins going to have a great year out of the slot. DJ Moore, a little bit early for him based on his average draft position, but I really think he's going to have a great year. Myles Gaskin, again, we talked about this on the other one, boomer bust year for him. Darrell Henderson, boomer bust as well. Same thing with DJ Chark. Gus Edwards, he averages over 4 yards a carry, so he's going to pick up right where J.K. Dobbins left off. I think it's tremendous value there. He's shooting up draft boards right now. As a matter of fact, just to let everybody know, he's going an average of the 16th round, but that's bad data because it takes all the data from early in the year, early in the preseason, before J.K. Dobbins went down. So to give you an idea, he's going an average of the 13th round, but I have him ranked a lot higher than that. I have him ranked as number 23 running back pretty much across the board. So what does that tell you? You grab him in the 6th or 7th round. You got him in the 11th round. That's great value there. Tyler Higbee, I'm not afraid of him. He can catch the ball. I like Ryan Tannehill. I like Naeem Hines in the PPR league. Michael Pittman, that's a great find there late because with the T.Y. Hilton groin injury and I'm sorry, the neck injury that T.Y. Hilton has, Michael Pittman is going to get a lot of action, especially early. Elijah Moore, boomer bust on the rookie. I like what you did to close it out with the defense and the kicker. I'm going to give this team an A.
All right, so an A for that, and then Mike will grade my team that I drafted for myself. And our normal rule is we don't give ourselves a grade. We let the other person grade us. So this team, hairy situation, played in the championship 3 seasons prior. Well, if you include this season, 4 seasons ago, played in the championship. The next year won the championship. The year after that did not. And then the trophy behind me here won a championship last year. So 2 out of the last 3 years, we have a Lombardi for hairy situation. Christian McCaffrey, Calvin Ridley, Aaron Jones, James Robinson, CeeDee Lamb, Cardinals quarterback, because I waited, and so I ended up getting this one in the 6th round. Javonte Williams, Cortland Sutton, Laviska Shenault, Dallas Goedert, Michael Carter, Gabriel Davis, Zach Moss, Rob Gronkowski, Jags quarterback, Darnell Mooney, Washington defense, and Tyler Bass, the Buffalo kicker. Your thoughts?
Now, did you have the first pick there with Christian McCaffrey?
I did have the first pick. Yep.
Yeah, I'm finding that I've had a couple drafts where I've been in the first pick just by random luck. You know, that's the way it was drawn up, and I'm liking my teams in those leagues, and I like this team a lot as well. McCaffrey backing it up with Ridley. Aaron Jones, I think it's great value there in the 3rd. James Robinson's right where he needs to be. Same thing with CeeDee Lamb. I like Kyler Murray. You picked up a round or 2 there. Javonte Williams right on the money in the 7th round. Cortland Sutton, Laviska Shenault. I'm telling you, this guy's going to have a great year. The Swiss Army knife guy. They're gonna do him on jet sweeps. They're going to have him doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Dallas Goedert, I like the pick there. There's value there in the 10th. Michael Carter, that's tremendous value right there where you got him in the 11th. I think he's going to take over as the man in New York. Gabe Davis, I think he's going to have a breakout year. I like that pick as well. Zach Moss, boomer bust. Gronk, boomer bust, but he's your backup. Darnell Mooney should have a breakout year. Maybe a homer pick with Trevor Lawrence, but I get it. It's late in the draft. You're going to need you're going to want a backup quarterback. You're probably only going to play him 1 week, but hey, why not have Trevor Lawrence? Again, Darnell Mooney should have a great year. Washington's a top 3 defense, and Tyler Bass is top 5 kicker. I give this team a solid A.
All right, I'll take the draft grade of A for Mr. Sofka. We'll take our final step aside when we come back. We will rapid fire go through the last league that we have here to give grades on, as we're grading every single one of the Central New York team owners inside of the Wake Up Call Fantasy Football Leagues that call the Wildcat Sports Pub home on 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York. Open 7 days a week, and of course there for all of your games. The final league that we have to talk about for today, the Gridiron Gurus, and we'll get into that momentarily right after this fast break. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your local neighbor for decades. Located just minutes from Liverpool High School, you can walk from the high school to Avicoli's and vice versa. Open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. And of course, we always ask that people of age drink responsibly. They have their pizza casual side, they have their fine dining side, their bar, and their outdoor dining all open for you. 4 ways to enjoy one location of Avicoli's. And they also have for you the takeout, delivery, and catering options by calling 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100, or go to myavicolis.com where you can order online. That's AVICOLLIS.com. And much appreciation to Avicoli's for our Liverpool Warriors exclusive sit-down monthly show, which we just did in the last day of August, covering the Liverpool girls swimming and diving team. You can check out the Warriors on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, split into 3 parts with their head coach Dave Sargalski, their assistant coach Will Chidsey, their diver Aya McIntyre, as well as their swimmers Rachel Jesse and Morgan Kenna. Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding, there for you in East Syracuse. The home for your furry-loving friend away from home. The Camp Dog Daycare on 228 Old Bridge Street, which is not only a daycare, but also offers the opportunity for you to have dog grooming, as well as to pick up food, leashes, and so many different things for your dogs. It is truly a store and a grooming place and a daycare all in one, right there, right off of Bridge Street in East Syracuse, and just seconds from Erie Boulevard. You'll find them, and you can call them at 315-437-7110 to make an appointment today for your dog. That's 315-437-7110, and the campground right around the corner on 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse gives longer-term care for your furry-loving friend, with each dog getting their own cabin and some of your bougie dogs getting TVs as well, because if you're like my dogs that I have and have had, they like to watch TV. So each dog with their own cabin, plus a community area inside and outside to play with other dogs. The campground is available to you at 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, and they are open throughout the year as well as through the holidays, and you can call 315-299-4013 for more information. That's 315-299-4013. PB&J's Lunchbox is the food truck that you have chased all over central and upstate New York. Well, now when you're jonesing for their food, you can go right to their cafe. Yes, that food truck is out there all the time throughout the seasons doing their thing, but you can also now go to their street side cafe. I'm so happy that they have a cafe that you could just pull up into Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner all served throughout the day, so you can have whatever you want on the menu at whatever time between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Located minutes from the Thruway, the highway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway. PB&J's Lunchbox, home of the award-winning peanut butter and jelly, grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and so much more. My barbecue chicken quesadilla, I get there all the time, including yesterday. And I ask you the question, what's in your lunchbox? Find out today at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. And Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, located on 791 West Genesee Street in Skinny Atlas, New York, minutes from beautiful Skinny Atlas Lake. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is your home for any injury, head to toe, for preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, laser therapy, and surgery. Led by Dr. Mark Petropoli, his team does 3 incredible things that so many places do not do, and that is listen, care, and walk you through the process. Victory knows that each person's path to victory is going to be a little bit different, and they're willing to walk you through it, help you, and give you the answers to your questions so that you have clarity as you work on your injury. Call 315-685-7544 to make an appointment for your injury today. That's 315-685-7544. With that being stated, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life, we are inside the Cafe Kubal studios and inside the Fantasy Football Power Hour. Mike and I giving draft grades to every single one of our Central New York owners, and we are to our final league, which is the Gridiron Gurus. And Mike, I will send it to you first as we go through these, and we'll rapid fire these as we are heading toward 3 hours on today's show. So we'll go through these a little bit quicker, but obviously give ample time to every team because everybody deserves it. Team West, Mark's team, Travis Kelce, Zeke Elliott, Austin Eckler, Chris Carson, Adam Thielen, Chris Godwin, Damian Harris, Russell Wilson, Harrison Butker in the 9th round kicker, Cortland Sutton, Ravens D in the 11th round, Gronkowski, Michael Thomas, Falcons quarterback, Darrell Williams, Michael Pittman, Ty Johnson, and a second defense in the 18th round with Seattle. Your thoughts?
Good there, and then all of a sudden the engine dropped out of the car. We did great until the 7th round, and then the 8th round, and then boom, 9th round. What happened? But I get it. Harrison Butker is a great kicker, but again, I subscribe to the school of thought that the kicker and defense is last. The kickers absolutely last. Cortland Sutton should have a nice bounce back year, but I like everything done the first 7-8 picks there. Travis Kelce, Zeke Elliott, Eckler, Carson, Thielen, Godwin, Harris. You got value up and down. You got value with the Russell Wilson. I think you were right on the money on most of your picks there until we got to that defensive kicker. Robert Gronkowski, speculative pick. Great speculative pick with Michael Thomas, who go on IR, give you a free pickup for the first 7 weeks. Matt Ryan, I think that's a great backup situation to have there. Darrell Williams, he's one play away from being the starter in Kansas City. Michael Pittman, I think, is great value there as well because of the fact that T.Y. Hilton's dinged up and out. Ty Johnson, I like the speculative pick there, and I like the fact that you did take a defense at the end there. It's just you picked one a little bit too early for me. I'm going to give this team an A-.
And Mark knows how to win as well. Mark has been with me since the beginning. This is his 10-year anniversary. As we are 10 years in, so is he. I am looking at this and saying, yeah, there's some good stuff here. Kelce and Zeke and Eckler and Carson and Thielen and Godwin. A lot of good stuff. Damian Harris, 7th round, not bad. Russ the Bus in the 8th round, his first quarterback taken. I like that too. Matt Ryan, another team that took the quarterback late because he was there, and I understand it, and I love the pick. And at the same time, Harrison Butker very early. Ravens defense early. I'm going to give this team, you're going to give them an A-. I'm going to give a B+ because I got to stay consistent with, kickers going that early and whatnot. The Wildcat Pizza Pub is the owner Danny Tome's team. So Christian McCaffrey, and I helped him draft this one, so I will not give a grade. Christian McCaffrey, DK Metcalf, Tom Brady, and so a lot of these in the beginning he kind of came in and out of this. Toward the end, I was drafting for him. David Montgomery, Amari Cooper, those were kind of my picks, and Steve helped as well. Noah Fant, DJ Moore, Melvin Gordon, Jamal Williams, Vikings quarterback in the 10th round as his backup. Odell, Patriots defense, he wanted a defense a little bit earlier. Justin Tucker, so we took care of his defense and kicker earlier than I would want to. Jared Cook, Nyheim Hines, Darnell Mooney, Chargers defense as a second D, and Xavier Jones. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I like the team. I like the way it started there with Christian McCaffrey and DK Metcalf. Tad bit early for the quarterback there, Brady. But hey, I think I got him ranked as a top 5 quarterback, so he has to go top 5. Well, you can get him a little bit earlier, usually in the 6th or 8th round. But hey, it is what it is, and you got your guy, so that's great. David Montgomery should have a productive year. Amari Cooper, I'm looking for an excellent year there. And DJ Moore, Noah Fant, we're all good. Melvin Gordon, everything's great. Jamal Williams, great PPR guy. Vikings quarterback, all right. You got one to back him up, maybe a little bit early, because he's the Mendoza line there, 16th ranked quarterback usually across the board. Odell, a tiny bit early, but I get it. You wanted him. The defense, again, just a little bit early for me here in the 12th. Justin Tucker, same thing, early for me. Jared Cook at 154 years old still should put up some touchdowns and be a red zone target for you. Nyheim Hines in the PPR league is great. Mooney, that's great value there. He should have a breakout year. The second defense is where the only defense should be, second to last. And Xavier Jones, I like the speculative pick. I want to address this real quick. Just to let you know, Xavier Jones may have gotten knocked down a tad, but he may not have. So watch that situation carefully in Los Angeles. And what I mean by that is when they brought it, before they brought in Sony Michel, Xavier Jones was shooting up draft boards. Well, they like him a lot, but he's no Sony Michel, and if Sony Michel's healthy, obviously Sony Michel's going to get the lion's share between the two of them. So watch that situation closely, and the name you want to remember in case that happens, if you're this owner and you may be dropping Xavier Jones after the first 3-4 games because you want to be patient, but you want to look at Tony Jones, who's the backup in New Orleans. He's not really the backup. Latavius Murray is, but by the end of the year, he'll be the backup. And heaven forbid an injury to Alvin Kamara, then you got the starting running back on the Saints. So all in all, I give this team a B.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, because I help with this. I'm gonna stay out of it. So Mike giving this team a B. Daniel, take that. And next one up is Chicks Dig the Pigskin 2. This is Becky, the first woman of any of my leagues to win in Central New York. And I believe she was right there with Lisa, who was winning in Florida. This is what Becky took. Aaron Jones, Bills quarterback, Josh Allen. Keenan Allen, Mark Andrews, Miles Sanders, Cooper Kupp. Chase Edmonds, Tyler Boyd, Mike Gesicki, Michael Carter. Eagles quarterback, Steelers D in round 12. Mason Crosby in round 13. Deebo Samuel, Ronald Jones, Marvin Jones, Colts D as a backup in round 17, and Damian Williams in Chicago, who used to be with Darrell Williams in Kansas City in the 18th pick. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is a good team. Looking at it up and down, I like Aaron Jones a lot. A couple rounds early for the Bills quarterback, but hey, you wanted him, I get it. Just make it up elsewhere again. Keenan Allen, I like that there. I like Mark Andrews there as well. Maybe a round early, but hey, you got your guy. Miles Sanders, again, I just a tad bit early for me there. Cooper Kupp as well. Chase Edmonds right where he needs to be. That's a good pick there. Tyler Boyd, he could be the guy left to he could be the guy that doesn't get the targets. And I hate to say that because Tyler Boyd is a great receiver. But, if Jamar Chase continues to drop seas, he'll see more targets. Mike Gesicki is going to be a great tight end for you. I like the Michael Carter pick a lot. That's great value right there. Jalen Hurts, that's a great spot for the backup quarterback. You want to make sure you get him. That's fine. That's great. The Steelers D at 12 and the kicker at 13 is the only thing I really have a problem with. I think you've got some speculative picks at the back end here that could pan out for you in Deebo Samuel, Ronald Jones, and Marvin Jones. I like Marvin Jones a lot. I think you got tremendous value there. You got him a couple rounds before he's going. He's going in the 13th to 14th round, so you did well there. The Colts D, again, I'm not a fan of two defenses, but to each his own. And Damian Williams, another speculative pick. I'll give this team a B+.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to give a B+ here to Becky as well because of the positioning of the defense and the kicker, again, to stay consistent. And at the same time, some of the picks here, the Tyler Boyd, I would leave off. Deebo Samuel, I think he's a boomer bust. Marvin Jones, same thing. And Damian Williams, I would have left off, but it's the last running back chosen. So I think it's fair to put her in that region of B+. And actually, you gave her a B+. I'm going to give her an A-. So because she waited a little bit longer on her kicker and her D. It wasn't at the end, but it was in double-digit rounds. It wasn't in the early rounds here. So I'm going to give Becky an A- on this. Young, Free, and Singletary is Paul's team. Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Hopkins, Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray, Allen Robinson II, T.J. Hawkinson, James Conner, Julio Jones, Jerry Jeudy, A.J. Dillon in round 9, Zach Moss in 10, Bucks D in round 11, Robbie Gould in round 12, Lions quarterback Jared Goff in round 13, McCole Hardman, Zach Ertz in 15, Bears defense was his second defense in round 16, Philip Lindsay and his third quarterback, the Colts quarterback in round number 18. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I like this team. I think Alvin Kamara is tremendous. DeAndre Hopkins should be a first-round talent, but you can get him in the second like he did. It's great. Kyler Murray, I think it's right on the money there. Allen Robinson, I like that a lot, but I think he went a little bit early. That's all. James Conner a tad bit early on that one. He's going into 12 right now. Julio Jones is going in the 6th. So, you made up a round there. And then Jerry Jeudy's going in the 10th round. So, you're up and down. That's all right. I get it. A.J. Dillon, I think it's a tad bit early for him. Same thing with Zach Moss. These are guys that are going in the teens. The Bucks D a little bit early for me. The kicker a little bit early for me. The Lions quarterback, I'm not real high on that situation at all. So maybe just see what week the Cardinals, let me see here, what week are the Cardinals? Their bye is on week 12. see who plays somebody like the Jets or something in Week 12 and go get that quarterback. And looking up and down, I do like the team. I think this team could make the playoffs with some good in-season management here. I'll give it a B+.
Yeah, you go B+ on Paul's team. I'm going to go B-. Kicker and defense taken early. 3 quarterbacks. Not a big fan of the Lions, and definitely not the Colts quarterback situation. So I like the top half, but the bottom is where I'm going to say it's kind of a tale of two halves. I think this team has improvement and the ability to do that, but I'm going to say B-. Heller of a team, Bills team. Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, A.J. Brown, Robert Woods. Cowboys quarterback in round 5. Logan Thomas, Myles Gaskin, Brandon Cooks. Gus Edwards, Titans quarterback, the backup in round 10. Michael Gallup, kicker. Ryan Suckup, Tony Pollard. Chiefs defense in round number 14. Jonnu Smith, J.D. McKissick, Mike Williams, the Chargers wide receiver, and a backup kicker, Matt Gay, in round number 18.
Yeah, I like the team. I like the way we started here. Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, A.J. Brown. Those are all great picks. Robert Woods, just maybe a round early. Same thing with the quarterback, Dak Prescott, the Cowboys team quarterback, maybe 2 rounds early there. Logan Thomas, way early on that one in the 6th round. He's average draft position, the 11th round. Same thing with Myles Gaskin and Brandon Cooks. These guys are hit or miss guys at the end of the draft. That 9th round pick, Gus Edwards, that's going to be your pick of the draft on this team right here because he's going to get a workload. He's going to get some good numbers for you. Tremendous value with a number 1 running back in the 9th round. Titans quarterback there, Ryan Tannehill, should have a productive year, but that's your backup. I don't know, maybe play the matchup there. The kicker way too early for me at 12. Tony Pollard, great speculative handcuff. The Chiefs D, again, I like defenses. I just don't like them that early. I do like the Chiefs defense, though. Jonnu Smith, that's the one you want out of him, Hunter Henry, to start the year anyway. Monitor that situation as Hunter Henry comes back. J.D. McKissick could still get some work. That's a good speculative pick. Mike Williams, tremendous value at 17 for you. And the kicker last is great. I'm going to give this team a B+ as well.
Yeah, I think Bill has been good over these couple seasons here. He's made some good moves and done some good things, and I think that ultimately you gave it a B+. I'm going to give them a B on this one, and a little bit above what I just gave to Paul's team, which was a B-. I'm going to go a solid B on this one, and just a few left to go here as we will run you through our final draft grades for the Central New York Leagues inside of the Wildcat Sports Pub on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Beeville P-Man Mafia is Jim D's team. Nick Chubb, Calvin Ridley, Joe Mixon, Darren Waller, Tua, Kareem Hunt, Cole Beasley, Juju, Devin Singletary, Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield, Bills defense in round 11, Tyler Bass, Bills kicker in round 12. Obviously, he wanted his Buffalo guys. Antonio Brown in round 13. David Johnson, Devontae Parker, Hunter Henry, Tevin Coleman, and Will Fuller the 5th. Your thoughts?
Hang on, I'm still trying to pull this one up here so I can see it in front of me here. Who was the first 2 picks again?
First 2 picks of this Gridiron Gurus team, Nick Chubb, Calvin Ridley, and then Joe Mixon, Darren Waller.
All right, hang on here. Here we go. Now we're cooking with grease. Yeah, I like Nick Chubb a lot. I think he's worthy of a first-round pick. He hasn't been going in the first round. He has been going in the first round at the end of the first round, so that's a great pick there. Calvin Ridley, the same. Great pick there. Joe Mixon, I think it's a round or 2 early for him. I've been stealing him late. I'm in a slow draft right now, and I just got him in the 6th round. So, you can find bargains. You just got to know when to zig and when to zag. Darren Waller, I think there's value there. He's the 2nd best tight end, and Kelsey probably went early in his draft, so he did great in the 4th round for Darren Waller. That's right where he needs to go. First pick, 4th round. The Tua pick at quarterback's a little bit questionable. They could have got him way late as a backup quarterback for you. Kareem Hunt should have a productive year, even though he's the number 2. He'd be the number 1 anywhere else. Cole Beasley, again, for the COVID situation with him closely. Juju Smith-Schuster, I think everybody's downgraded on the Pittsburgh receiving, so I think you got good value there. Singletary is expected that high. The Browns quarterback, and again for me in the 11th and 12th round. Antonio Johnson, Devontae Parker, Hunter Henry, Tevin Coleman, and Will Fuller. Those guys are a great boom or bust. So half of them are going to pan out, half of them aren't. Patient to be prepared to drop. Their flavor comes down the street. I'm going to give this one a B.
Yeah, I'm gonna go B plus on this. I think there's a little bit more that I like here. Nick Chubb and Calvin Ridley, Darren Waller, getting those up top, and then having the handcuff, being one of the few teams to have Chubb and Hunt. I like that. And then when he got Singletary and Juju later on in the draft, and obviously I can't give an A because defense and kicker going early. Antonio Brown was late. I don't like the Devontae Parker pick because he doesn't pan out. Not a fan of the David Johnson pick. Hunter Henry late's okay. Tevin Coleman, looks like a wasted pick, and then Will Fuller. So I'll give it a B plus at this point. And then we have hitter, HTTR. So we have Steve's team, and Steve has won a championship in our league. Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Terry McLaurin, Josh Jacobs, Mike Davis, Green Bay quarterback, Javonte Williams, Brandon Ayuk, Henry Ruggs, Robert Tonyan, Alexander Madison, Rams defense in the 12th, Jason Sanders, kicker for Miami in the 13th, Jamar Chase in the 14th, Broncos defense, backup defense, Gerald Everett, Jets quarterback, and Steelers quarterback. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Devontae Adams a lot. Depending on where you're picking in your draft, that's obviously the right move to make in the first round. And not being afraid to go zero running back first picks. I like the courageousness there. It's just Justin Jefferson is the average draft position in the 3rd round. McLaurin is average in the 4th round. But I get it. You wanted those guys. You went out and got them. So sometimes you have to pay a little more for that when you go. That's not too bad if it works out. If you're proven right, you're the hero. If you're proven wrong, you're the zero. That's the way it goes. Mike Evans, a little early on him as well. Aaron Rodgers, I think that's close to on time there, 6th to 7th round. Javonte Williams, 7th round, great on time. Brandon Ayuk, a little speculative there. Same thing with Henry Ruggs. I think those guys are going to be worth the pick, just maybe a couple rounds later. Robert Tonyan, he's going to be a good red zone target for you, but you may look at a name. I'm going to throw this name out there, Kylan Granson. You may look at a Kylan Granson. He's going to be the pass-catching guy in Indianapolis. Nobody knows about this guy.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, live on site, on location at Avico.
At the rest of the team here, I think it's a little bit early for the Rams and the kicker there, Sanders. Jamar Chase, great speculative pick there, tremendous value. I don't know how he dropped.
His restaurant, the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York. Walking distance from Liverpool High School, right up the road, and we are here every single month.
And then the multiple quarterbacks at the end, the Jet, Zach Wilson, I get it, trying to catch lightning in a bottle, and Ben to see if he's got anything left. Those are speculative picks at the end of the draft. Nothing wrong with that. All in all, I'm going to give this team a B as well.
Yeah, I'm going to give a B to Steve on this one. The B because earlier with the defense and kicker, defense and kicker there, 3 quarterbacks, and I'm not sold on 2 of them. And outside of that, some other moves that were made here. I like some late stuff that he did. I like the first few picks that were had, but overall, I got to go a B on this one. Bville, Miss Vegas, Carol D's team, Tyreek Hill, Carol, another new member, and so welcome to Carol. Tyreek Hill, Chiefs quarterback, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. She went Kansas City for the first 3 that she had. And then and she was the 6th pick out of 10, so she was right in the middle. George Kittle, Kenny Galladay, Chase Claypool, Raheem Mostert, DJ Chark, Rams quarterback in the 9th round. Jarvis Landry, Washington defense in the 11th round. Kenyon Drake, Josh Lambo, Jacksonville kicker in the 13th round. Austin Hooper, James White, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Mark Ingram, and Giovanni Bernard. Your thoughts?
To the best of your knowledge, is this person a Chiefs fan?
I believe that Carol is. Yes, I do believe she is.
Well, then I call homer fouls all over the first 3 picks because they got them around or 2 later. But I get it. You want those guys on your team, but that could separate the championship from second place. The second place third place. Just little moves like that. But hey, Tyreek Hill, he's probably gonna have a great year. Pat Mahomes probably going to have a great year, and you've heard me talk about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's going to have a great year. So these might not be wrong answers. And coming back into fourth and getting great, George Kittle, that's tremendous as well. Kenny Golladay, speculative year for him. Chase Claypool should be okay. I like where you got him there. It's just, he's got those other mouths to feed there, and they may be throwing the ball a lot less with Najee Harris in there. Raheem Mostert, the speedster, he's got some company in that backfield. It may be a tiny bit early for him based on that, but I'm not going to argue with that. He's penciled in as the number one guy, so take him there in the 7th. DJ Killer, a tad bit early. You're getting him closer to the 10th round. Matt Stafford, it's a great spot to take him at 9, so nobody else could. I think he's going to have a tremendous year. Hang on to him as your backup in case Mahomes goes down. Jarvis Landry, a tad bit early there. The defense and the kicker here, a little bit early for me, but great defense. Washington, great kicker in Lambeau. The backup, Cooper, the tight end, I no problem there. James White, PPR or bust with him. Marquise Brown, Mark Ingram, and Giovanni Bernard, all boom or bust players, but they can all catch as well for you. One of them does pan out. I would give some B.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a B in this one as well, and we're gonna go very quickly because we've got to make sure that we hit everything here, and we are in our 3-hour mark here, and I got to make sure I get everything in. So, Team Motley Crue, James's team: Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, CeeDee Lamb, DeAndre Swift, Tyler Lockett, Darrell Henderson, T. Higgins, Tyler Higbee, Justin Herbert, Dallas Goedert, Laviska Shenault, Curtis Samuel, Marcus Callaway, Sony Michel, Bengals quarterback, Niners D, Seattle kicker, and Eno Benjamin from Arizona. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I like Derrick Henry. I like Najee Harris. I like that 1-2 punch. That's tremendous. CeeDee Lamb's going to have an awesome year. Watch out for DeAndre Swift's groin, but I think he did okay there with him. Tyler Lockett, that's a round or two early, but that's all right. Same thing with Henderson, same thing with Higgins, same thing with Higbee. The Herbert, that's a great find here. Laviska Shenault, you got tremendous value there by 2 rounds. Curtis Samuel should have a good year. Marquez Callaway, that could be tremendous value for the first 7 weeks while Michael Thomas is out. Looking at Sony Michel, that's a boomer bust play. Joe Burrow, boomer bust. Just one round earlier on the defense and the kicker, but you obviously got, good defense and a good kicker. And Eno Benjamin, speculative play there as well. So I like the courageousness. I like stepping up. I'm going to give this team an A-.
Okay, and I'm going to give them a B+. Mike, final note here is we got to go very, very quick. I got to make sure I get everything in. Your thoughts on my team here. Uncle Pat's Bandits, in honor of my Uncle Pat. Gridiron Gurus, Stephon Diggs, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Kyle Pitts, James Robinson, Mike Evans, Lamar Jackson, Deontay Johnson, Leonard Fournette, Trey Sermon, Devontae Smith, Robbie Anderson, Evan Ingram, Latavius Murray, Ryan Fitzpatrick is my backup, Rondale Moore, Dolphins defense, and Young Hoku.
Yeah, up and down, he did well. The next one either. I think you're gonna have. I would give that. I would just up and down real quickly. I would give it a solid B.
Okay, solid B. I'll take it. So, with that being said, we appreciate y'all and thank you all. Mike, as always, thank you for everything, and we'll talk with you soon.
Hey, sounds good, Dan. Thanks.
And I want to give a special thanks to all of the wonderful, wonderful people at Lemoyne, and thank them so much for all that they do. For those of you on MixLR listening in, first day officially of our Lemoyne partnership, and we are proud to have signed on, just really looking at this, proud to have signed on the first ever multimedia marketing partnership of Lemoyne College, and we'll be working with Lemoyne very closely. And so I want to give them a special thank you, and we'll obviously catch you on MixLR very soon and on wakeupcalldt.com as audio-wise. We have finished up there, and I want to thank you and thank everybody for being a part of that. And then here on Facebook as well as on YouTube to give our final thoughts and final pieces here. I do want to go to Lemoyne here for a second and give my gratitude and my appreciation, my excitement of the fact that I'm proud to have signed on as the first ever multimedia marketing partner of Lemoyne College with my company, Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, as well as with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora specifically. We will be working very closely with Lemoyne Dolphins Athletics with 2 new pieces, Dolphin Dive and AD and DT, will be featured monthly on all Wake Up Call channels. Be sure to check out all the new Lemoyne pieces, including the Lemoyne tab that will be on wakeupcalldt.com, and stay up to date with all athletic information on LeMoyneDolphins.com. Fins up. With that being stated here, where sports truly meets that thing called life, a special thanks to all of my incredible partners, including Lemoyne, for joining the family, as well as Cafe Cubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Avicoli's, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Millhouse Market, Pizza Man, Honda City of Liverpool, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Mother's Cupboard, Progressive Dental, PB&J's Lunchbox, and Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, where you can use the promo code DT20 at checkout. Anywhere in the United States, you can go from any one of the 50 states to maandpaspopcorn.com and use the promo code DT20 and get 20% off, so make sure that you do that today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Find us on Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, Twitter at CallDT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. And as always, folks, God bless. No stress. Do your best. I appreciate you. I thank you for your time. Please be good to each other, and please be safe out there. We'll talk soon. Prayers to everybody that needs them.